Hello and welcome. Welcome to Trauma Drinker, where we heal the pain behind the pour. I'm Romeo Jones. Welcome to my channel, right? And this channel essentially started with me just documenting my journey of healing the pain behind the pour publicly, if you will. And for those of you who don't know, um, my trauma stems from childhood abuse. All right, narcissistic abuse, if you will. Certainly a lot of physical abuse in there, etc., etc. We all have our things that happen to us. And listen, even if you weren't subject to crazy abuse as a child and you had good enough parents, right, that sent you off into the world healthy. Let's use me for an example. I dated a woman, a young lady, a woman now who had phenomenal parents, and she had good enough parenting. But when we met and we started to like each other and love each other for what we thought it was at the time, I didn't have such a healthy upbringing. And a lot of my upbringing was brought in the negative aspect and the good, but a lot of that negativity was still leading in the relationship, right? And so my ex was exposed to trauma through me, the same way that I was exposed to trauma through my mother, that foundational attachment. I carried that into my relationship with her, and she was exposed to trauma in relationships. So there is no, life is hard, but I believe it's fair. I don't think God, some people say the universe, right? In my opinion, God is the universe, but that's for another topic. The trials and tribulations are inevitable. The goal for me, and you, obviously, if you're watching this channel, you're working through some things yourself, is to become equipped to get through the trials and tribulations in healthy ways. Because, in my opinion, the world is going to offer you some things that aren't, you'll find out for yourself that aren't so healthy. So today, I was reading from my handy dandy, The Narcissist in Your Life, and I've really been deep into part 6 of this book. And part 6 is overcoming narcissistic abuse, right? Part 6. And so, anyway, I ended up reading some things, and I hopped into a conversation on my with my LLM, right? Large language models. The world would just call it AI, right? I'm being a little dramatic, but what I'm gonna do here in this video, I don't believe it should be long, but I'll find out shortly when I'm done, is I just want to share a conversation that I was having with. I used ChatGPT today on this one. Um, been a little interested in Claude as well lately because I was strictly ChatGPT. But anyway, that's not important, you all. Thanks for bearing with me. As you know, this I'm very early on this YouTube journey. If you look at my videos in the beginning, I was just wow, I've come a long way, and you can too. So look, I don't know if I'll read it straight through. Let's just see what happens, you all. But listen, I asked Chat, I said, I repeated what the book, something the book referenced. And I said, I'm going to read slowly here. Quotation. It is common for childhood trauma sufferers to remain in a survivalist state of denial and self blame well into middle adulthood or longer. End quotation. So I said, hey, Chat, how is denial and self blame considered survivalist states of being? Here's the deep truth behind that line. Denial and self blame aren't random dysfunctions, they are survival strategies that once protected the child. They become survivalist states because they keep the internal world predictable, organized, and emotionally safer in an environment where the child has zero actual power. Let me break it down, Romeo, in a way that hits both psychologically and spiritual. Why denial equals a survival strategy? Denial preserves attachment, the child's number one survival need. A child cannot survive without caregivers, period. So if a caregiver is unsafe, abusive, neglectful, or unpredictable, the child's nervous system does something brilliant. It denies the truth. Because the truth, the person I need is hurting me, is too destabilizing, so the psyche says, they are fine, it's not that bad, They didn't mean it. I'm exaggerating. This protects the attachment bond, even at the cost of truth. That is survival. 2. Denial keeps the nervous system from overwhelm. Children don't have adult emotional regulation. If they felt the full weight of the pain, inconsistency, or chaos, it would shatter them. So the system suppresses the truth to prevent internal overload, avoid emotional collapse, keep functioning in the environment they're stuck in. Denial equals emotional anesthesia. Wow. I'm going to comment on that, but let me finish this first because you all know I could ramble on and on. Why self-blame equals a survival strategy. Self-blame gives the child a sense of control. If the child believes it's my fault, if I was better, they'd love me. If I don't upset them, they won't explode. Then the world feels controllable. The truth. The adult is unpredictable and unsafe, and I have no power is too terrifying. It must be me. Self-blame protects the psyche from chaos. Self-blame preserves hope. I really liked how the AI framed that. Preserves hope. Hope is a big deal. I wouldn't have made it this far without hope at all. Every time I got knocked down, even when I emerged with hope. Even when I stayed down for a bit, I emerged with hope. Self-blame preserves hope. If the problem is me, then maybe I can try harder. I can be better. I can fix it. I can earn love. That resonates so true inside of me. I can get them to stop. Self-blame gives illusion of hope. The alternative, nothing I do can make them treat me better, is hopelessness. Children can't survive hopelessness. I mean, that's a tough situation for an adult. Self-blame avoids the consequences of blaming the caregiver. If a child sees the adult as the problem, what then? They are powerless. They are trapped. They are unsafe with no escape. That reality is unbearable. So the brain protects them through internal redirection. I am the problem. If I change, things will get better. It's survival by self-sacrifice. Why these strategies persist into adulthood? Just hang with me here, you all. Because adulthood doesn't automatically rewrite childhood wiring. Denial and self-blame become identity, worldview, nervous system baseline, the default lens for relationships, the internal rules for staying safe. Your body keeps following the old blueprint long after the danger has passed because it was the only blueprint that kept you alive. You don't age out of survival mode. You have to rewrite it. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing here, family. And I hope and pray that it can be of value to you. So, the chat goes on to reframe it. Denial and self-blame aren't signs of weaknesses. They are evidence of how intelligent your survival instincts were, how adaptive your nervous system was, how deeply you protected your own soul, how hard you fought to stay attached, alive, and functioning. You weren't broken. You were ingenious in the face of impossible circumstances. Now, adulthood gives you the power the child never had. I got to argue that it doesn't give it to you, but you can take it. You can claim what's yours by not giving away your power. You take your power back. You can replace survival with truth. You can replace self-blame with self-compassion. You can replace denial with awareness. You can replace fear with agency, and you can replace protection with healing. Wow. Hey, leave me a comment below. This does this ring true for you at all? Now, maybe you're not even aware of this. If I had have read this in like 27, 28, 29, I don't know if I would have connected any dots. Any. You know, when it comes to let's jump over to the drinker and the poor. Self compassion is a critical skill when you're moving forward and overcoming your relationship with alcohol. Um, And when you look at this, I can see totally how alcohol was nothing more than a perpetuation of what was already normal to me before I continued to abuse the substance, you know? But when you're healing trauma, be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. And although I'm showing up and I'm making content and I'm publishing the content, I am very much so in this journey, and I probably will be for the rest of my life. Now, I don't plan for these things to be, I plan for them to become somewhat smaller and irrelevant over time as far as the trauma. Alcohol, you know that I'm done with that, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I would like a wife. I would like to get down on one knee someday and ask a woman to marry me. And when we proceed, I would like to go on a honeymoon and make some babies. You catch my drift? But with the trauma and the drinking, that would never was gonna happen for me, and I didn't want to force it. Who wants to be the wife and child of a man who's struggling in his relationship with alcohol and who's struggling with his relationship with himself? Those are big why. This isn't an easy thing, you all. I'm 35 years old. And yeah, I didn't think that this would be where I found myself, but based off the tools that I had and the way that I live my life, here I am, and I'm grateful. Truly. I aspire to inspire. And community is the opposite. Connection, rather, is the opposite of addiction, and you do that in community. So, in closing, the original statement that Julie Hall made was, "It is common for childhood trauma sufferers to remain in their survivalist state of denial and self-blame." I mean, I could meditate on that all week long and some. I was taught as a child, unconsciously, to not believe and not to trust in myself. So, in yesterday's video, I talked about meditation, you all. I'm gonna get this video uploaded tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and do another meditation and just continue this journey. I know where I'm going, but I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get there. And just like on the first of this month, I made a video that reflected on a video from 2 years ago. I plan for that to happen in another 2 years. I'll come back and look at this video and witness my growth. So, thank you for being here. And I love you. Until next time.